Hello friends, good morning or good day, depending on when you are watching this. For me it is now the morning of the 15th of September. Welcome back to my weekly Flosstube update. I am Sen and this is my little place on the YouTubes for everything cross-stitch. So without much waffling today, I'd say let's get into what I worked over the week. It has been quite a lot compared to last week. It's been a good stitchy week for me. One thing before we dive right in, let me know in the comments below is do you think like weekly updates is maybe a little too much? I did notice that I had a little drop in views on my last video, so maybe, I mean, we're all busy adults, so for me personally it's easy to film like a quick video each Monday because I work on a lot of projects over the week. If I do it like over 2 weeks or an entire month and I work on like 30 projects, that can get a little bit overwhelming for me. So to me personally this works quite well. It's a good routine, but yeah, let me know if you feel like you definitely can't watch every video every week. And no offense if anyone says like, yeah, no. So, but yeah, let's get into my works of the week, shall we? So first off, we do have the spooky dragon, as I have dubbed it, because it doesn't really have a name. And as you can probably see, I did not stick to my color completing the dark browns, and I worked a little bit with other colors. A little over here it's a bit hard to see because the colors are very similar to the darker one, and in the light gray over here because I wanted to see a little bit of the dragon come in. I did not in fact make this a one strand a day because I moved on to other projects over the week, but this is where this one is at, and as usual you can see a comparison to what it looked like last week. But this is the spooky dragon. Let me show you what it will look like finished, in case this is your first time seeing it. This is what this one will look like. You can see I moved onto one of his wings over here. So that is him. Next up I did a considerable amount, I think, in this little kit that I got. And as you can probably already see, this is two little birds sitting on a branch. Let me show you the finished picture. This is what it will look like, and I was kindly given this kit by the designer, by the shop that makes it. It's called Povitrulia. It's an It's a Ukrainian shop, and they kindly sent me this to stitch, so I do enjoy it very much. I am not particularly a fan of the coverage. I would assume this is DMC, so I usually I usually stitch with CXC, which is a little more floofy. So on 14 count the coverage of CXC is a little better, but when I look at this from afar I do like it, and the colors are beautiful. So far I have not run into any issues with this kit, so I can recommend it. It's a good piece of fabric, like this Ada is good quality, and I do believe there is enough floss in this kit. I have finished 2 colors already, I believe, and I still have leftover floss, so everything's good with this. The margins might be a little tight for some people, but for me this is perfectly fine. And I filled in quite a bit of color in these 2 birds. You'll probably see in the before picture. I will see if I can find one. And yeah, the tails of these 2 here. And I think I've finished most of the blue. There's just like a bit of the dark blue that I still need to do in the tails, and then all of the blues are done. So this little guy here, she looks a little bit weird without her little beak still missing. But yeah, I gave this quite a bit of love. So this is where this one's at. Next, and still not too much to see in this one, is my crystal keeper. I did quite a bit on this. You can see from the before and after. It's still just like a tiny start on it. I think it's about 1 point something percent. If I've reached 1%, because this is large. I decided to do a lot of the black first because there's a lot of background here. We'll show you what it looks like finished in a moment, as well as up here. And I figured it would probably be easier to work with all the other colors if I have like this insane amount of black in first. That is a little overarching in this on this page at least, and then work in the colors. So that's what I did, all of this black over here, and this is what it will look like finished. As you can see, it's all the black up here, and then there will be some more black in here, and then there's the wing. That's also part of this first page. I think the first page goes about here-ish, until here, but we'll see when I get there. I love this one, but it will be a lot of work. This is a larger full coverage, so let's see when I get back to that. But for now, this is where this one's at. Now this is what I worked on the most. I think I worked on it for 3 days this week, and it's gonna be a little bit hard to show everything that I did. Might need to take the camera a little further out, and now I can't see it anymore. It's too far above me, but otherwise you won't be able to see. I can't put the entirety of this in frame, even like this. So this is where this is currently at. There's a little bit more down here. I don't know if we can see it going down here because I can't see my camera, but there is a little bit more here. Let me check. Yeah, I think it's almost completely in frame. So what I did, I finished this page over here, and I finished this page over here. Both pages were almost done. I mean, this had a lot more to do still than this one. This one was almost done, but I will put a before picture so you can see for yourself. Then I did some work in his face, like filled in some colors, which I feel is very visible. Even if this is like just color fill in, there was like an entire space here that was still white, and did some more little stitches over here. And then I did a little bit of outline stitching, like I filled in a darker color here in this outline, going down here and then going down here. So let me pull it a little bit up. This entire part here I did yesterday, I believe, and I think also a little bit more outline here. It's a little hard to see with all the dangling threads, as well as here. So I am very careful with this one when it comes to just like going and doing outlines, because I said so like in some previous videos. At one point, before I put this away for quite a long time, I moved all the way down to the bottom, which is why there's like coloring in here, and I had to frog everything, because somewhere up here, like where this page ends, I miscounted by one entire row when I moved down, and I had this entire part here where you can see this coloring. This entire part here was stitched, going over. I think I frogged about like 2,000 stitches, maybe more. I'm not even sure. I didn't make a note of that. It was way too much frogging. So I am very careful with this now when I move like when I make some crazy moves like these where I actually need to count. Like this was fine because it's very close to each other. I still do not know how I managed to miscount here, but I did, and I regretted it. So, but I needed to do a little bit more somewhere else in this pattern because last time I worked on it, I was working up here, and this is all background. This is all like this purple, like here, the light purple. And I was getting a little bit bored of just, this will be 3 pages, just background, just this background. And I was like, yeah, no, if I continue doing that, next time I will possibly finish this page. This goes up here. So it's just like a little bit left. And yeah, that, let me see if I can get it entirely in frame again somehow. Because I do need to take a picture of it. For the before and after shenanigans. My desk is too small. So once I go all the way down, I will no longer be able to put this entirely in frame. So let me see if I can just just a little bit. There we go. Now you can see parts of my messy desk. This is the entire thing. It will go down a little further, but for now I do not need this part to be in frame. That's what it looks like right now. And this is what it will look like when it's done. As you can see, all this up here, background, all the way down to here where his head starts. That's what it's gonna look like. So this is my full coverage that I'm the farthest with now almost 27%. And this has been sitting since 2022, so I really need to crack on with it. But for now, this is where it's sitting at. Next up, we have some autumn stitching. This is a new start for me, so you have not seen this one before. Let me put this around. This is where this one's at. It's quite a big chunk of progress for a new start, I think. This is a paper pattern from a magazine, so I do not know how many stitches I have done on this or how far I am or whatever. This was from 1 or 2 days that I worked on it. And let me show you what it will look like. This is the pattern, and I am in love with the palette. It's beautiful. I wanted to stitch something autumnal, and I've never stitched like this type of pattern before, but I feel like I'm slowly getting more into liking smaller to medium patterns like this, because this is not small, this is more like medium, I would say, but like as opposed to the massive full coverages. And I do love my full coverages, don't get me wrong, but I am going away a little bit from only or like mostly stitching full coverages, because while I'm mostly a process stitcher, I do like to see things come along more, like the feel of things getting somewhere, if that makes sense. So stitching smaller patterns that I can actually reasonably get finished in a year or like a month. And I think that started with all my model stitches, because those are things that I'm trying to finish in a month, and they range between 1,000 and 7,000 stitches, so doable if I crack on with it and don't get distracted. So yeah, this one is from the Cross Stitcher magazine. I do not know which issue or which year. I have like these ones digital with my Readly app, so I could just save them, print them out, or use them like digitally if I wanted to, but this is where this one's at. And starting this also inspired me to make something a little similar, because I love the autumn palette so much, and I was still looking for a new chart to make or to finalize for next month's Patreon. So that is gonna be our last but not least, and you will see it in a minute. So here's your peek at next month Patreon pattern. This is a little bit of what people, I believe, call a band sampler. So this is how long it's gonna be. There's gonna be different fall motifs on it. This is how far I am with the model stitch. As you can see, it's also got like its beautiful fall, like autumny palette. There will be a little bit of green in it as well, but otherwise I believe I've almost already have all of the colors in this. So I do not have like a picture of the finished pattern printed out. This is gonna be like just a little sneak peek, so you can what you can expect for next month. And I will try to finish this until the end of August. It's September, my girl, September. Until the end of September. So I started this yesterday afternoon when I finally like finished the design process of it, and I am already at 20% ish, I believe, with this. So I put almost 1,000 stitches into this last evening. So if I keep that pace, I'm not gonna say that took me almost 7 hours, but I digress. I get distracted while stitching. I'm not the fastest stitcher. I was just watching movies and doing stuff and chatting and playing video games and stitching at the same time. So that's how I usually do it in my free time when I don't focus. So that's where this one's at. And let me know what you think. You will definitely see more of this next week in my next update. So stay tuned. And again, this will be available on my Patreon for my $5 tiers. So if you want to grab this when it comes out, I would very much appreciate your support. But that is the final one I worked on. So let's go back and do my little face, shall we? So that was all, and I do hope you liked what I had to show you this week, and well, let me know which one is your favorite and which one you want to see more of. I'm always curious. What do you think of the new fall pattern in the works from what you've seen so far? And if you're interested in getting it when it comes out. As for other things, not much live updates happening. Well, my life is mostly boring. It's mostly work, mostly spending my evenings with friends, playing Dungeons and Dragons or video games. So nothing interesting. It's been a very rainy week last week, which also means lots of stitchy time. So that's great. We love that. And yeah, we'll see how this week goes and what I get up to and how much I get finished. So stay tuned for that. If you liked what you saw, please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel to feed the algorithm. That will help me a lot. And yeah, if you saw anything you like, if you have any questions, I will, as usual, put links to all the patterns and where you can get them if they are available in the description below. If I do not know where they're from or if they are not available, obviously I will not. I will just put the name of the pattern. And yeah, other than that, I think that's actually it for this week. Oh yeah, right, needle minders that I talked about last week. I don't have them here with me. I have them in the other room and they are not all finished. But the first 4 motifs are now available in my Etsy shop. The link's also down below. And you can grab them if you like. There's still some left. I will make more of the other motifs now that I have all the magnets here that I need. And I have received some smaller ones that are not like as massively strong. I will finish them and put them up in the shop probably over the course of this week, so I will make a small full update of all of them in my next video, hopefully, if I manage to finish them all. And yeah, unfortunately still no shipping to the US. Our postal service still hasn't figured it out. I know like the UK, for example, is already shipping again, and yeah, I wonder what's taking our postal services so long. Well, technically I could ship because express services still work, but they cost 80 euros. I don't think you would want to like pay, which I think is $95. That will just be shipping. I think it does cover the import fees that there's, but I don't know. I don't want to tell you any bullshit anyway. Even if that were the case, who would want to pay $80, $90 just for shipping and import fees for a needle minder? I do not blame you if you do not want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that, no matter how much I would want to have those. So that being said, I will keep you updated as soon as shipping services recommence. I will let you know, and then you can get kits again, needle minders, everything. So but yeah, until then, I hope you have a great stitchy time, my friends, and I will see you again next week. Bye bye and happy stitching.